There is unrest in the Galactic Senate. Several thousand solar systems have declared their intentions to leave the Republic. This separatist movement, under the leadership of the mysterious Count Dooku, has made it difficult for the limited number of Jedi Knights to maintain peace and order in the galaxy. Senator Amala, the former Queen of Naboo, is returning to the Galactic Senate to vote on the critical issue of creating an army of the Republic to assist the overwhelmed Jedi. Welcome to Haven't Seen Star Wars, the podcast where two lifelong Star Wars fans guide two franchise rookies as they take their first steps into a larger world, sharing their honest opinions and reactions to the goings-on in a galaxy far, far away. We just watched Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. My name is Mike Gibson. I'm here with Amber, Verity, Steve Haller, and Alex Larose. And here we go. Let's talk about Star Wars Episode 2. Alex or Amber, who wants to go first? Let's dive in. What are your general thoughts? We're entering general thoughts on Episode 2, Attack of the Clones.
I loved it so much.
You loved it? Really?
Yeah, I really loved it so much.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Did you think I wasn't gonna?
Yes, I did think you weren't going to because...
I loved it so much, but why did you think I wouldn't?
Well, normally, I consider this my least favorite Star Wars.
What? Really?
Yeah.
I like it a lot more than Mike does, but it's still not in the top half for me.
However, Steve, I liked it way more this time.
Oh, yeah.
Way more this time.
Yes.
It's to the point where I'm not sure that it's still my least favorite Star Wars movie.
Oh, look at you, buddy. Coming around.
I was ready to jump in here and be like, just tear this movie down. But I was shocked. I was shocked at how much I enjoyed watching it this time.
Yep.
Even though still seeing its faults and still seeing it being,
right.
What it is.
There's still plenty of things, but the highs are high. And
still plenty of things.
Amber,
George
Lucas's dialogue is still George Lucas's dialogue. You're not going to change that.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, Amber, I love that you love this movie.
I'm so interested to hear what you guys think was horrible. But that's not for right now because Alex has to tell us what she thinks. But I'm very surprised to hear that.
I agree. I was super into this one.
Amazing.
Maybe because I was so not into the first one.
Phantom Menace.
I really didn't like that one. Thinking about it now, it just, I don't know. And I guess I didn't think about it in the way that you said it, Mike. It was, I guess, pretty inconsequential in terms of character development and setting them up for this movie. But I feel like there was no there weren't a lot of down times in this movie. It was all pretty
lots of action.
Yes.
And I actually had to pay attention to this. I'm like, wait a minute, what? I went back and watched a certain part over again. I wanted to rewatch the whole thing, but I didn't have time. So I went back to a certain part because I was I want to make sure I'm getting this or what is not connecting. But
this is awesome.
Mm-hmm. We went to so many places. We were exposed to so many different species of characters and galaxies and so many dots kind of connected for me, and I feel like I know where this is going.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And
wow.
There were things that I feel like I understand more about history that I had a different perspective on when I just saw 4, 5, and 6. I was surprised. This movie surprised me because I thought I knew what the history was going to be, and it was going to be more predictable in some ways than it was. But
wow.
Yeah, I could not have predicted much of this movie. But it felt different and new, but it still felt like Star Wars, whereas the first one barely felt like Star Wars to me.
Wow. Okay.
It did piss me off though that it was so I'm I just want a modern version of 4, 5, and 6, and I know I'm gonna be hated for that in this world, but I just want 4, 5, and 6 like this one. Want all the things from this one in 4, 5, and 6.
You mean visually, quality wise? You want or wow, okay,
all right,
interesting.
I can see that.
I loved 4, 5, and 6. It made me a fan, but the fact that this is the prequel and it's just like,
Yeah.
I feel like we jumped in the future because we did in the real world, but not like I just
Right.
I hate that disconnect, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I find myself
yeah.
having to like pull myself back and say like, this is the prequel. This is the prequel. Like,
Right.
I'm like, where was that ship? I'm like, that's badass, you know? Like,
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
was that droid and that weapon and whatever? I'm like, this is crazy. Like, we could have won so much shit in 4, 5, and 6 if we had all of that, you know?
Why didn't R2 use his rocket boosters in 4, 5, and 6?
Entirety of-
R2, like, get it together, you know? Like,
flies.
Well,
we're getting
that was,
lazy out here.
I mean, that's kind of that you're touching on stuff that I think bothered longtime fans about the prequels in general, where it's like, okay, so why would you make R2 have rocket boosters in this one if he doesn't have them in the other ones? Like, are you going to
Mhm.
explain how he loses his rocket boosters? Like, what
No.
are we doing? Why isn't this? It didn't feel
Yeah.
like there were decisions made in some of these prequels that felt like they didn't line up with the storyline and the continuity of 4, 5, and 6. And some of those may be ironed out in the third one. Maybe some of them will, maybe some of them won't. I'm not going to really go into that, but
Well, Amber, you brought up a good point too about something that when we saw it initially, definitely disconnected a lot of folks. Like, it was one thing to see the Naboo ship in the Phantom Menace, but it felt like in Attack of the Clones, everything was new and shiny, and didn't fit with where everything was, and it was like, there's a lot of weird disconnects when you're not. You guys have the advantage of watching it back to back to back, and being able to still have a lot of stuff fresh in your mind. And it seems like I kind of wish I was able to do that now. like the genuine. I like Attack of the Clones more than most people do, and Mike will attest to this fact.
This is a lot of people's. A lot of people will say this is their least favorite one. This is like a low ranking.
Crazy to hear. I am so envious though of like people who got to see these in the theater. Like, that would have just when I was watching this the other day, I was like, wow, I want to see this in theaters. Like, I just wish I could have seen all of them in theaters with subtitles though. Let's not get crazy. I need the subtitles, but I wanted a cinematic experience, and I feel like Star Wars deserves that, and I'm like missing that piece of it, you know?
I don't know if I ever mentioned it on this pod. I know I've talked about it on the other podcast numerous times, but like, this was my best experience watching Star Wars in a theater. Like, to the point where, like, midnight showing, I think I was probably like a junior or senior in high school, and it was like on the big screen, something we hadn't seen before, packed theater. At the end when Yoda pulls out his lightsaber, literally the only time I've ever seen a standing ovation in a movie theater. Like, the entire theater in Rome, New York, Rome Cinemas, whole theater was on their feet. It was like, wow, that's amazing.
My theater also erupted when Yoda started fighting Count Dooku at the end of this movie.
Killed it.
Yeah, it was wild.
I love him.
He's the MVP.
Wow. Okay, so
Mike doesn't know where to go now.
Okay. I don't know where to go.
We have to get into it because I'm like gonna word vomit every thought.
No, it's so hard to get started. I think.
Okay,
this is great.
I'm trying to think if there's any like other like general thought kind of things. Like, see, like I think I might have said this too when we did our in-person episode, but Amber, what you're saying, like, or both of you were saying, like, you have to remind yourself that it's a prequel because everything like looks bright and shiny and new, and that was something that I think longtime fans bumped against also because like somebody like me and Steve, I really like that 4, 5, and 6 are like used, and like the Millennium Falcon's a piece of crap that keeps breaking down, and like I like that. Like, that's like, it makes the world more interesting to me because it looks like a lived in, like a more realistic kind of space for me. And to jump back and have everything be like bright, shiny ships and everything's working perfectly is strange. But also, if you think about like this trilogy is about the eventual downfall of Anakin Skywalker, and it's also about as we're kind of starting to see how the Empire takes over. And if you spend 30, 40 years under authoritarianism, regime, they don't care about people. So of course things go from shiny and new looking, they deteriorate over time because there's not like investment in public infrastructure and stuff like that. So like that's a way that it does connect me to 4, 5, and 6 better, because I know that eventually there's going to be a galactic empire that doesn't care about keeping things bright and shiny and working.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
A very good point.
Right. Thank you.
I didn't think of that at all, to be honest. Like, I was just telling myself through it, like, okay, well, this is, like, we're in all these different areas and planets and galaxies and different, like, just like how we fantasize in the world we're in right now about how there's going to be, like, how there's aliens out there that are so much more advanced than us and this, that, and the other thing. It's kind of like the same thing with that. Like, some of these galaxies might just be more advanced than others, and that's like the difference. And that's just what I tried telling myself while I was watching it, so I wasn't just so hung up on it. But your idea on that makes so much more sense to me.
Something I was going to say, so you also said that you like the look of this movie and you wish 4, 5, and 6 looked like this. I actually really dislike the look of this movie. I think a lot of the effects haven't really aged well. I think there's obvious green screen in the majority of the movie. I think there's only a few scenes that are filmed on actual locations, on actual sets. This was the first fully digital film. The first movie that was not shot on film, was shot completely digitally. Now we know how to make digital films better. But back then it was literally like Ewan McGregor by himself in front of a green screen, no props, not even any other actors. Like, really, in this movie, unless 2 actors touch each other, it's likely that they were not filmed at the same time, which is crazy.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. And that can be seen in some of the performances where you're not sure, like, that, someone should be reacting a certain way or whatever. Or sometimes a lot of the camera movements were like pre-visualized, and because they had to be animated. So like, it's not a real camera, it's just the way that the shot's going to move. They start working on that ahead of time. So by the time Ewan McGregor or Hayden Christensen gets there, they're like, okay, you have to stand here and the camera's going to move like this, which limits what an actor can do, because, they can't get on set and be like, oh, I think it'd be better if I came this way or whatever. It's like, no, all that's planned out already. So like, you're locked into this way of performing a certain scene.
Interesting.
And I think personally, I feel like some of the performances in the movie are stiff. I think Hayden Christensen is kind of bad in this movie as Anakin Skywalker. I'm sorry if that's a different opinion. I don't want to offend anybody. That was a popular opinion at the time of this movie coming out, that his performance was not the best. But hey, to each their own.
I have a different view on that, because you know how I felt about Luke and his just like immaturity and like corniness, like before he kind of developed into the character that we saw at the end. Like, that's kind of how I'm viewing Anakin too. Like, I was like, wow, this like reminds me so much of Luke. Like, we know where he gets it from in so many ways. And I think hopefully we're going to see him mature, whether it's in a good way or bad way, like in some way too. And I'm like, maybe that was intentional. And to me, I was like, wow, that's like brilliant acting, because that would be difficult to do, I feel like.
So
I feel like,
go for it, Alex.
I'm just kind of the same thing. Like, I feel like some of the unlikableness maybe that I felt was like intentional. I was like,
yes,
this is going to be our bad guy soon. Like, it's just a matter of time.
Yeah,
I feel like
I think that's
a ton
true.
of foreshadowing on his character too.
Yeah, I think that's true. And I think that's like, I used the phrase when we were talking about Phantom Menace, I said I've made peace with this movie. I don't know that I had made peace with Attack of the Clones until this time that I watched it. Like I said, like I enjoyed watching it. I had a really good time watching it. The previous time that I watched Attack of the Clones, I viscerally hated it. Like it made me so angry. I was like, all this dialogue is terrible. This plot doesn't make any sense at all. Like the green screens, like I literally hated it. I think I was texting Steve. I was like, how can anyone like this movie? I was so mad about it. So mad. So I was ready
didn't
to.
feel that.
I was ready to feel that way when I watched it again, and I was like, "Oh, I know this is fine."
Yeah.
And I think part of it has been, like I mentioned once, like you guys have kind of like, you're helping me draw lines between characters and between plot points. And I think one of those lines is like, yeah, Luke's pretty whiny and pretty entitled in the first Star Wars movie and somewhat in Empire as well. And yeah, of course he is, because look what his father was like. Yeah. His father was like a super entitled, like petulant little, like, I deserve everything and why don't I have it yet kind of guy.
Watching Anakin flirt, it was like, like father, like son, like get out. I was so mad, I'm like, look at her. Like, these are beautiful women. What are you doing,
Right. And
he said, you're making me uncomfortable. And he persisted.
Yeah, it was giving cringe, as the kids say.
Oh, God.
I'm pretty sure that Steve and I called in one of our post episodes for Patreon. I'm pretty sure Steve and I predicted that you would not be a fan of the way that Padme and Anakin flirt or get together.
I was like, babe, what are you doing? Like, she's a smoke show, and like smart and mature and just all the things sound like anyone else that we just watched in 4, 5, and 6, and then they fall for these just idiotic men at the time, and it's like, maybe I'm pissed because it's like oddly relatable in some ways, but I'm just like, this is not what our girls need, not in the galaxy.
Yeah. Especially when you think about how she met him when he was 9 years old.
Yeah,
and
that's disjointed.
That's weird. That's weird. It still hits me as
mildly problematic.
Yeah. All right, so we should probably dive in, I guess. I feel like
to it. I can't help myself, so we have to.
Here. Yeah. But before we do, I did just shout out a second ago that we do have a Patreon. If you want to listen to episodes of Steve and I talking of our reactions to Amber and Alex's reactions, spoiler filled for previous movies.
You're going to definitely want to tune into this one.
Future movies. Oh yeah. You can check that out on Patreon. Haven't seen Star Wars. And was there anything else I was going to say? I don't know.
Your Cantina quote?
Yeah, my Cantina quote. That's what I was leaning into. So I was on Threads one day. Obviously, my algorithm is very filled and Star Wars filled. And I saw somebody was ranking their Star Wars films, and it was radically different than my ranking of Star Wars films. And she had Attack of the Clones as her favorite Star Wars movie. So I was like, well, I need to follow this person and ask them to tell me why they think Attack of the Clones is their favorite Star Wars movie. Turns out that person's name is Veronica Ray. And she is a successful content creator, model, and cosplayer. You can find her on Threads and Instagram at Veronica X Ray. It's Veronica X RAE. She loves Star Wars. She's unabashed about her opinions on many topics, including Star Wars. And she had this to say. She's gracious enough to send me a quote. She said, "I love Attack of the Clones. My strong appreciation for Boba Fett and Jango Fett started here. They were my first introduction to bounty hunters, and Jango's story throughout this movie is especially compelling. The scenes on Coruscant and Geonosis are my favorites, and the music is incredibly nostalgic for me. Overall, it's the most well-rounded of the 3 prequels." So thank you very much, Veronica, for submitting a quote. And you can all go follow her on Threads and Instagram. And you know what? Like I said, I don't have anything. I can't say anything bad about that quote. Like I just thought, I was like, yeah, she's right. She's right. Even my with all the hatred I used to hold in my heart for this movie, it's leaving me. It's leaving me. I'm back on the light side. So this movie takes place 10 years after the events of Phantom Menace. This is the spoiler alert, the only film in the saga where the camera goes up after the crawl. Usually they go down to something. The camera goes up. Small detail that doesn't matter. But we see Padme's ship approaching Coruscant. It lands and explodes. We think she's dead. But we learn that there's been this is an assassination attempt. Someone's trying to kill Padme. For some reason, Steve, I watched this movie 1.5 times. Do they say in this movie why they're trying to kill Padme?
Don't they go into it when they're talking to the Techno Union in that?
I guess I don't remember. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is it that she's like such a powerful senator that she could sway the vote against the army or something? I don't know. It's just a detail that
I feel like that is it. I feel like it was something to do with voting in the Senate.
I think it is too. Yeah. So we cut to anyway. I don't know. What do we think about Padme in this movie? Let's just dive right into character. We meet her right up front. She's the first main character that we see escaping death. How do we feel about our girl Padme from Phantom Menace to this one?
I mean, I want to
really
say
like
one
her.
thing. I want to say R.I.P. Rose Byrne. She didn't deserve to go out like that.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
Rose Byrne is in
crazy.
this movie. Yeah, crazy. that
Another-
Rose Byrne
I
is in
love her as an
Padme's
actress.
Padme's
Yeah, she's great.
handmaidens in the prequels were absolute, amazing actors and actresses. It's
Yeah.
impressive.
I know.
Yeah.
Amber, you're saying that you loved Padme.
Yeah, I felt like they did disservice to her character with the dialogue that they gave her, but I still really enjoyed her and like loved. I felt like I did get to know her. I feel like there's more to her story that this movie set the stage for, or at least I'm hoping. Like I hope that we get to know more on the next movie, and because I think it was, I don't remember where in the movie it was, but when they went off together and Obi-Wan was like, I hope he doesn't do anything stupid, and then whoever like helps her is like, well, I just hope she doesn't do anything stupid. So I'm like, okay, there's some like rebellion to her in a way where she kind of marches through the beat of her own drum, and like maybe that's what draws them together. But I'm hoping that I get to know more about her story in the next movie.
Cool.
She did great under the circumstances with the dialogue she was given, if I do say so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like
agree.
we got like some good scenes with her, but like not like she was in the movie a lot, but like didn't say a lot and didn't do a lot other than like kind of try to push Anakin away and then end up marrying him. So like
yeah.
and I would have like said like no, she's not gonna like she's gonna resist this guy if I didn't see the like little like one sentence that was like Padme and Anakin fall in love in this prequel. Yeah. I'm like, oh okay, well cool.
Them rolling around in the grass. I hated.
Horrifying.
That's
like,
pretty awful.
Stop.
Pretty bad. Yeah. That scene is
this
bad.
isn't cute.
I hate sand. Like I hate sand.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the line that wins her over is him talking about how he hates sand and creepily touching her soft.
Then he's like,
everything here is so
it's soft.
Yeah, so what are you doing?
I was like, ew, don't touch her like that. Like you freak. She's like perfect. Stop.
Now, mind you, at the same time, she's the one that urges him to like effectively turn to the dark side.
Well, not urges him, but she makes
him go to his mother.
Oh, that's true. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Like rebel against
she's
what
the one
Jedi's orders were and go to his mother.
She convinces him to break the rules and leave Naboo and go to Tatooine. Yeah, which I think is cool because that's like
because she's falling in love with him, and like to see the person you love hurting, especially when it comes to like family and like your roots, it's like you want to support them in that. And so when he's like, oh, I'm gonna go on my own, she's like, I'll be there for you and go with you. Like I think that was more of like not pushing him to like do the wrong thing, but like encouraging, like just trying to support him in his own.
But if you remember, he said he did not want to go. And
it's either when they're going to Tatooine or when they're leaving Tatooine to Geonosis.
Oh, it's going to Geonosis that it's her decision.
Yeah,
but he was ordered to not go to Geonosis, and she says, "You were ordered to protect me, and I'm going to Geonosis."
Yeah,
so
which I think
that's
is cool.
a very
a little rebel.
Yeah. Amber, you touched on this earlier. I think Natalie Portman is super hot in this movie.
Oh my god! Yeah, I'm like, do you have abs, babe? Like what?
Yeah, that blue dress she's wearing on Tatooine that's got like a little showing off her belly. Plus,
she's like shooting shit, like looking great.
Yeah,
I was like, wow, like okay, like go do your thing, girl.
She also changes her clothes a million times in this movie. She's always wearing something insane, like considering where she's going or what she's doing. It's always some giant hairdo with a crown thing and like some elaborate dress. It's like she's wearing some like crazy gown just to like pack a suitcase to go to Naboo with Anakin. And you're like, this is what you wear like around the house? What's happening? Yeah,
she's like, yeah, I'm falling in love. Like trying to keep him on his toes, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's great. So we cut to now Supreme Chancellor Palpatine, who was a senator in Phantom Menace. That's one of the threads that continues from Phantom Menace. He was elected to be the Supreme Chancellor in Phantom Menace. Now we see him kind of presiding. He's at a meeting with Mace Windu and Yoda and some of the Jedi Council, having a discussion about how the Jedi are like exhausted and all this, like these planets are separating and there might be this civil war brewing, and if it does come to war, then the Jedi are going to be like just completely overwhelmed, and there's no real resolution on that topic at all, just kind of like telling us that that's where they are. Padme comes in to talk about the attempt on her life, and she comes in with Jar Jar, who is now Representative Binks. Is he? But they don't call him senator. Is he a senator, Steve, or is he just representative of Naboo? Is he like an assistant senator or something?
I have no idea.
No idea.
Didn't dive that deeply into the Republic Senate.
I just noticed this time they don't call him senator. They call him representative.
Yeah.
I mean, but then later he does have like power.
Is the Galactic Legislature like, you know, our bicameral? Is he just a House of Representatives member and not quite up to snuff?
But he has voting power. Like later, he like nominates or like, you know, proposes special powers to the Supreme Chancellor. So he's got like some kind of power. But anyway,
doesn't Padme give him that like nudge to do that?
Like give her blessing to like speak in her stead, or like
okay.
Oh,
I figured it out.
I don't know. Maybe.
Figured it out. Thank you, Google. Planets have one senator, but the minority species apparently has a representative. So he is a representative of the Gungans.
Of the Gungans. Oh, okay.
Makes sense.
Thanks,
I don't know
Google.
if he should be in like representing much, but
kind of a shock. I agree.
Well, now we know how everything fell, because there's a lot of just laziness going on here.
A lot of clowns in Congress. Relatable.
Yeah.
The Gungans don't like him though, so it makes sense that they're going to send him as far away as possible.
Yeah, get out of here. Yeah, you notice Jar Jar's role in this movie is quite scaled back. I believe that was in reaction to the fan reaction to the visceral hatred of Jar Jar.
It's so sad.
It is sad. Yeah, his role is quite smaller in this movie. She's there with Jar Jar and a guy. I don't know if they say this person's name, but I'm going to say it to you just so you can clock it when you may see him again. The person standing next to her in this scene is Senator Bail Organa of Alderaan, played by Jimmy Smits. I don't know if you recognize any of those words that I just said. Senator Bail Organa of Alderaan. All right, keep it in your back pocket. So she makes it clear she's not scared of this assassination attempt, but Chancellor Palpatine insists that she be protected, and he suggests having her old friend Obi-Wan Kenobi and his Padawan Anakin Skywalker assigned to protect her. And then we are introduced to 10 years later Obi-Wan and 10 years later Anakin. Anakin is now being played by Hayden Christensen. Was an actor who had been in a few things prior to this, but he was mostly an unknown actor when he was cast as Anakin Skywalker. What are our thoughts on 19-year-old Anakin Skywalker in general? We talked about him a little bit, but anything more we need to say about Anakin before we keep going here?
Cringe. His son is just like him. He has no control over his emotion. He's very impulsive. It just pisses me off. This is something I loved the movie, but this is like a part of the storyline that pisses me off.
Okay.
Like, they're just out here, the Jedis are like, oh, here's like this emotionally immature, unstable boy who clearly has like traumatic childhood issues and like hasn't gotten to the point of being able to control his mind and emotions. Let's totally have him go protect this senator, go on all these different things. Like, he holds such a high ranking, I guess, for someone who is so unqualified. And it's like, why are you all shocked that you missed clones in like a clone army being created and that everything's going to shit and like, you know, they have Jar Jar out here making big decisions and Anakin running the show. Like, this is just, it's hard to feel bad, you know? Like, obviously things aren't going to go great here.
Yep.
No words. That hit.
They're all like,
nail on the
this
head.
is crazy.
I feel like my reading of this movie is that the Jedi are bad at their jobs. The Jedi are bad at their jobs. And I'm not positive if that was intentional by George Lucas. I think it kind of was. I think it was. Like, he's trying to show the Jedi are like at the height of their power and are kind of like blind to their own
hubris,
weaknesses, because they think that they think they're always going to be in power, and as benevolent and as helpful as they want to be to the galaxy, you know, they can't see what's happening like right in front of them. And, you know, Yoda even says like, the dark side's really clouding our vision. We don't know what we're doing at all, more or less. I feel like there are several scenes in this movie where Mace Windu and Yoda are presented with concerning or downright alarming information, and they do nothing about it at all. Nothing.
They meditate on it, Yoda said once. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Why don't you do something more than meditate, Yoda?
My guy.
We're just gonna think about it. It's fine.
Yeah. And after like what you were saying, Amber, after Mace Windu makes the decision, he's like, Obi-Wan, you're gonna investigate the assassin, and Anakin, you're gonna go with Padme. I think there's a scene where Obi-Wan is like, I'm concerned about Anakin being alone with Padme, and Mace Windu and Yoda are like, that's fine, don't worry about it. Like, just brush it right off. Okay, well.
It connected dots for me because I think Alex and I brought this up before with 4, 5, and 6. We were like, how did we get here to like the Empire, like having so much control and all that kind of stuff? So it was like, I was wondering that too, and I was aching to figure out how everything collapsed. And like, this movie definitely painted the picture for me. It's just, I think too, maybe the Jedi army, it's probably not the right way to say it. Sorry, Star Wars fans that have been around longer than me.
Grand Army of the Republic.
Yes.
Wait, you're talking about the Jedi themselves or the clone army?
Yeah, the Jedi themselves.
Okay. Yeah,
it's Jedi Order.
Jedi Order.
I feel like they probably at one point, like as they were being created and like the early years of like Jedi's existing, probably were on their toes all the time, alert, like growing, making sure they were being more proactive with stuff. But it's almost like they got so laxed with the power that they had, and just no one would ever fight back. And then it just, by the time things started spiraling out of control, all of these other like galaxies were just gaining so much more control, and they were just kind of like, all right, well, fuck it, like we're just doing what we've been doing because we don't know what else to do, kind of thing. You know, like they're not using their brain.
Mike, I think I just realized something. The Jedi are effectively George Lucas making the prequels.
Yeah, no one's telling them no.
No one's telling them no. They're just doing what they're doing. Just winging it. It's all fine. Let's go.
But also, like, I think that's probably a lot of the reason that at some point, and currently still, people bump into this movie is because if you were raised with 4, 5, and 6, sometimes it's hard not to just, you know, all the talk of Jedi in 4, 5, and 6 are the Jedi were heroes of the galaxy. And, you know, we have Obi-Wan and Yoda are the only remaining ones, and Luke becomes one. And Luke becomes one with, you know, nothing but like the best of intentions in his heart. Like, he's like a pure soul. So we're like, oh, the Jedi must all have this kind of intention and must all be like this. And then you get to a movie like this and you're like, what are they doing? Like, they're not helping. They're not doing anything. And I think people thought that was bad writing. And you could argue that, you know, like dialogue or whatever, or the story's being told in a strange way, maybe. But I think once you plug into like no, they're actually bad at their jobs. And once you like accept that, it makes way more sense. It makes way more sense that they're just, they're blind for their own hubris, I think.
Yeah. It's like when you grow up, you just think your parents know everything and they are just have it all figured out and all this stuff. And then you start to grow up and then you see your parents for the human beings that they are, and they kind of fall from that pedestal. It's like, that's kind of what happened to me with all of the Jedis. Like, I was like, you were supposed to be great. Like,
Same, Amber.
I was rooting for you.
Yeah. I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you sending him out there with her?
So Alex, this started by asking Amber her thoughts on Anakin. Do you have anything else to say about Anakin?
Probably nothing that hasn't already been said. Like, I kept noticing. Well, I mean, I see a terrible amount of foreshadowing in the dark side coming. It is looming.
Sure. Yeah.
He says some concerning things.
He sure does. He sure does.
Obi-Wan Kenobi says to him, like, in 17 different ways, be mindful of your thoughts. Like, he is not being mindful of his thoughts, it seems. And he does some crazy shit. But yeah, so I'm like, I don't not see it. Like, it's a clear path for him. But I am curious to see what pushes him over the edge now.
Right. Yeah, and I think it was hard for, you see Anakin as a 9-year-old in Phantom Menace, and maybe the actor's not great, but like, he's a cute 9-year-old kid, and he's like, he's having fun, he's happy, he's like, he's not troubled. You don't see darkness in him necessarily in that performance. And then it was very jarring. Like, there's very little connection for me between Jake Lloyd's portrayal of young Anakin and Hayden Christensen's portrayal of old Anakin. But, there's 10 years in the middle there that you just got to like use your imagination. And this is what he's like now. But I think a lot of people expected Anakin to be a more likable character in a way that you wanted to root for him. And the way that he's portrayed in this is kind of like, petulant, annoying, whiny character, which makes more sense for the character of Anakin Skywalker, really. But I think a lot of people were like, no, he should be like a hero. We should want to root for him. And that's not the characterization of him in this film. Really,
I would have been more if he was more likable, I think.
Yeah.
Because then we would have had to like go from all that to like him becoming Darth Vader.
Right. Cool.
And we got to get to know his like childhood a little bit more, and like there was a few things that happened where I'm like, okay, this is the start of the villain story. This is continuing with the villain story, and like, you know what I mean? Because isn't that just the tale as old as time, that all villains they're not really like born villains, like they're good people that had like bad things happen to them that like made them like hurt people kind of thing. Like, it made them turn into what they were. And that's why when bad things happen, you're like, oh, this is like the start of my villain story, or like joke around about it, because that's what this is. Like, him going back, and then his mom and all the things. It's like, get how it starts for sure.
Yeah.
Did we not think there was any like warning signs on Padme's end that got thrown up when he comes back and says, I slaughtered all of them? Not just the men, but the women and the children. Like,
that's crazy.
And then she's like, "No, let's go to Geonosis."
She's like, "Let's get married." Yeah,
this is a great idea. Like, what?
Yeah. You'd think that would like, put up a red flag in her, and it's nothing but green flags for her.
Yeah,
she's like, "Oh,
fuck it, let's go."
I'm more into this guy who commits genocide and tells me in a field that there should be a dictatorship. Like, he endorses fascism. Yeah. At one point.
She said, "You're not all powerful," and he said, "I should be." I'm like,
I should be. Yeah. And she's like, "Well, keep rolling around in these flowers and flirting. Yeah, that's no problem for me."
Those waterfalls in the background really got them in the mood.
Giant ticks or whatever they are.
All dictators start.
Yeah, that's why all dictators start with a roll.
Origin story.
He also, I feel like the only thing he talks about for the first like act of this movie is how obsessed he is with Padme. That's like all of his dialogue is focused on him telling Obi-Wan how he cannot stop thinking about her.
Well, it just proves that he has no control over his emotions, his impulses. Like, you have a job and all you can do is obsess over a girl. Like, I think that's like works perfectly for his character, you know?
Yeah.
For sure.
All right. So they're protecting her, and there's like a quick argument. They're arguing about politics at one point. Obi-Wan is saying that you can't trust politicians, and Anakin says something. I think Chancellor Palpatine's a good man, and he's not corrupt, and all this kind of stuff. Like they're not on. Like there's multiple times where you can see that the two of them, despite Anakin saying a couple times that Obi-Wan's like a father to him, there are definitely times where Anakin speaks up and tries to like undercut Obi-Wan, argumentative a little bit. So they're definitely not on the same page, despite seemingly being very close. We cut to a mysterious bounty hunter who gives a tube full of worms to an unnamed assassin, and that unnamed assassin gives that tube full of worms to a droid, and that droid flies across Coruscant and puts that tube full of worms in the room that Padme is sleeping in. Kind of convoluted, but that's what happens. They both sense it at the same time. They jump in. I think this is all very cool. Anakin jumps in and slices the two worms that are on her without killing her, which is very cool, or waking her up, seemingly. Obi-Wan wastes no time and jumps through a window, grabs onto the droid, and then this like cool speeder chase around Coruscant. We get to see like the underground scene of Coruscant, like down on the street level, which is more fluorescent lighting, and like there's like a bar that they go to, classic Star Wars bar scene. They catch her
with the best name of a character in all of Star Wars.
So the guy that I know exactly who you're talking about. This Obi-Wan goes up to the bar to get a drink, and this little guy comes up next to him and says, "Hey, do you want to buy some death sticks?" And Obi-Wan uses the Jedi mind trick to go home and rethink your life. And Steve, this character's name is
Elon Sleazebagano.
What?
Shit you not. Yeah. That is his actual name.
Actual name.
Wow.
Yep.
Little less than subtlety around whether or not we should like this character.
Yeah.
Let's name Sleazebagano. Yeah. So they catch her, and she's about to confess to them who hired her, and she says it's a bounty hunter by the name of blah, and she's killed by a poison dart. Which is weird to me that he uses a physical dart that is something that can be traced and tracked instead of just a blaster bolt, which is something that everybody uses in this world and cannot be traced or tracked at all. It's like, just for the plot of this movie, we need Obi-Wan to be able to trace something, but in reality, it makes no sense that he wouldn't just shoot her with a blaster.
And also the Jedi who can sense stuff coming at them completely miss the dart that's
no idea
flying
that
at
dart's
them.
coming. Yeah, good point. Yeah, where's their spider sense then?
Right.
So they report this whole thing to the Jedi Council, and like we talked about, it's decided that Obi-Wan's going to go after the assassin. Anakin's going to accompany Padme back to Naboo, and Obi-Wan starts investigating. So he takes the dart to his old friend, who runs a 50s diner. He's a giant frog alien named Dexter Jetster, who some immediately knows where the dart's from, and tells him it's from a planet called Kamino, refers to them as cloners. Were you guys surprised to see a 50s style diner in Coruscant in Star Wars? Is that a thing that you expected to see? Any thoughts on Dexter Jetster?
Not have expected a diner scene, period. But
no, not at all.
He was a little unsavory of a character, but I guess he helped us out, so.
Well,
True.
That's the
forgot
George
about him
Lucas
until
greaser got to have a diner scene in the movie.
It's
Straight
true.
out of American Graffiti.
Yep. Obi-Wan goes to look up the planet in the Jedi archives, and it's not there. The librarian, whose name is Jocasta Nu, pretty snippily tells him, if it's not in the archives, it doesn't exist. Obi-Wan, don't question my... Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Omitting
Loves the library
and whatnot. Good God.
So then Obi-Wan brings the question to Yoda. He interrupts Yoda training a class of younglings, I guess as they're called. It's the first time we hear the term younglings. He asks the same question, and literally a 5-year-old figures it out immediately after the librarian herself was no help. Yoda confirms the 5-year-old's guess is that someone must have removed it from the Jedi archives, which, again, is what I would consider pretty concerning information, and Yoda just does nothing about it at all. They never mention it for the rest of the movie. Yoda advises Obi-Wan to go to Kamino, which is a rainy ocean planet, and Obi-Wan meets long-necked Kaminoans. What do we think about the whole Camino sequence here? Rainy ocean planet, and we meet the clone army. What do we think about this whole sequence
They
here?
have such long fingers, like, and legs, and everything's just
The way they move,
long.
like
Yeah, and they just talk very calmly. There's
Yeah.
hardly energy, and they're very weird, very strange.
And they seem
creatures.
to like respect him like as a Jedi, even though this
Yeah.
clone army was being created, like, which raises major concern. And I don't know, you
Well-
know, like they're just like, yeah, let me show you everything that we do and
Well,
all the
they
things that are
think-
done. And
They think the
This is the
Jedi are
part
the
I
ones
had
that
to go
ordered
back
it,
to.
though. They think the
This is
Jedi
what you
are
had
the
to go
ones
back
that
to?
ordered the clones.
Right.
Oh,
Why did you have to go
right.
back to? Why did you have to go back to this, Alex?
I was so confused about the whole clone stuff. Like, I needed to like see how she interacted. I don't know if it was a she, the first long neck robot person.
Tonwi, I believe
Yes.
is a she. Yes.
I was like, are they welcoming? Is she expecting him? How the whole clone
Yeah.
army came about, like that I had to like rewatch because I was like, are the clones help in the end, but are they really good? And they were ordered by some Jedi that's now dead. I had to like rehash all of that after I saw the fight scene because I'm not convinced that this seems bad.
Yeah.
Is part of the reason that you might think it's bad is because they all look like stormtroopers, pretty much. Except the helmet is a little different.
Partially, but like it just gave like, I feel like Obi-Wan was pretty skeptical.
Yeah, yeah,
And
I think so.
I'm like, I don't know. I'm just not getting great. I don't know. I don't know who the person is that ordered them. I forget what was his name that died 10 years ago or
Jedi Master Sifo Dyas.
that guy.
Yeah. They
He's
mentioned
dead.
they mentioned a Jedi that we've never seen before.
Never seen, never met.
Never mentioned before.
Well, and the Jedis didn't know this was being created.
Correct.
So like,
So
it has to be
think
bad
there is
if they're
something-
saying that they ordered it when they didn't.
But then they helped
Well-
at the end, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So that's why I was
But then
confused.
they're, but like he was like, "Oh, this is a victory."
Mike, you're in the same
and
boat I am
Yoda's
right
like,
now.
"This
Okay,
is not
yeah.
a victory. This is a war." You know, like. So
I
they
think
know
they-
this is bad.
Okay. This is part of the movie that doesn't truly work for me because I think it's a very convoluted storyline. And it's like there's kind of too many moving pieces and it's stuff that has never been mentioned before at all. Now, I don't think this is a spoiler because there are things in this movie that are said but not necessarily made clear, I don't think, and because the plot is kind of dense and like I said, convoluted, I think is the best word for it.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to understand.
Yes.
So I'm going to say this, and I don't think it's a spoiler because they don't even talk about it in the third movie. I don't think
I'm waiting to
Let's
see
hear it.
where you're going with this, buddy.
that Count Dooku is the one that orchestrated the creation of the clone army. That's not a spoiler, right?
That's what I assumed
Yeah.
Yeah.
because
Yes and no.
he's like going against
Well, yes and no.
the Jedis and
Right.
being. So yeah.
Because that's the Jango Fett connection. Because Jango Fett works for Count Dooku, and Jango Fett is also part of the basis for the clone army. So like that's,
Yeah.
but they don't necessarily
That's
come
what
out
I was
and
trying to
say that.
figure out because they don't say it anywhere.
They don't say it outright,
Right.
but it's like heavily implied, and it's like
So
it's frustrating for me. It's frustrating sometimes what this movie says outright and what it should be saying outright and isn't.
Yeah.
Like the
Well,
stuff
and-
that's leaving up to you like isn't clear all the time.
right,
Yeah.
they with the creation of the clone army, originally Sifo Dyas was supposed to be closer to Sidious. Like it
Darth
was supposed to
Sidious.
be a play on words to make you think that Darth Sidious was behind it and kind
Oh.
of lead you to them being
Whoa.
bad.
I've never put that together ever.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
In future, like, well, Mike, you know from watching
Darth-
the
yeah.
other
I mean, Darth
Star Wars,
Sidious. Yeah.
Sifo Dyas, they gave a backstory and was a friend of Count Dooku back in the day, I guess.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, it was originally supposed to be like a play on Sidious.
Sidious. Darth Sidious being the cloaked guy that resembles the Emperor who we saw in Phantom Menace, and we see at the end of that he is working with Count Dooku at the end of this movie. He's one scene with Count Dooku at the end of this movie. Okay. So yeah. So it is confusing, and it's jarring kind of because Obi-Wan shows up. He's never been to this planet before, parks at a random spot, walks in the first door that he sees, and they're like, oh, you must be here for the clone army. Yeah. And just like you said, Ember, they just give him all the information. Like he barely asks any questions at all. They just tell him everything. And he's like, what is all of this?
Yeah.
Sure, I know about this. You know, he's kind of pretending, but also like it's crazy. Like he only asks like follow-up questions because they're just giving him all this information. It's just wild.
He said hi and they offered it up on a platter. We're like,
exactly.
Here's all this info. Enjoy. I did look it up. It was actually a typo in the script. It was supposed to be Sido Diaz, so Sidodyas. And a typo in the script created a completely new character.
No.
Yep.
Nobody caught that on set? What
well,
they must have. Oh my god.
So funny.
Okay. So anyway, yes, we
say too is like people tend to recognize Jedis like without.
Yeah, they all wear. They all dress
like I'm a
in
Jedi.
Brown cloak. Yeah, yeah.
There's just like this known thing in general that everyone's like, "Oh, you're a Jedi." Who like how cool? You're a Jedi now. You're a Jedi. You know.
Yeah, I guess Jedi are the only ones that wear long brown robes.
Right.
I guess
you can only wear
Anakin,
tan if you're a Jedi.
But why doesn't Anakin wear the same robe? He has like darker ones. Like obviously it's thematic because he's like on a path to the dark side, but like he's the only one that has like black leather. Like it's a little.
He's always rebelling.
He was edgy, man.
He's always rebelling. I guess. Yeah, he's edgy. He's the emo Jedi. So yeah, we meet the clone army. We meet bounty hunter named Jango Fett, who is the basis for all these clones. Do we have any opinions on Jango Fett and his quote unquote son, Boba?
It's a clone.
Who was actually a clone of him. His name, you guys. Yeah, his one request. Do you guys remember who Boba Fett is or becomes?
Mm-hmm.
Where?
That he's in the he's the bounty hunter that finds Han and brings him to Jabba the Hutt in 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so this is his villain origin story, also for Boba Fett in this movie.
Yes.
Yeah. Any opinions on Jango or Boba?
There's obviously some sketchy shit going on with that because there's no reason why he would be wanting a clone that doesn't have any modifications or anything. Like, and he just knows stuff that we don't know he knows, or that me and Alex don't know he knows right now.
Yeah.
Right.
Menacing.
Yeah. This was kind of like, for me when I saw this movie, it was kind of like a Darth Maul situation for Phantom Menace where, you know, Jango Fett was all over the marketing and I was like, oh, cool, new villain. And then he gets his head cut off at the end of this movie. We're like, okay, I guess that's the end of Jango Fett. Great. Cool. But so Obi-Wan figures out that this has got to be the bounty hunter that he's looking for. He tells Yoda and Mace Windu about it, and they want Obi-Wan to bring Jango in for questioning. Then Mace Windu says this to Yoda. He says that we should tell the Senate that our ability to use the Force has been diminished. Pretty alarming thing for a Jedi to say. And then again, they do nothing about it at all for the rest of the movie.
Obviously.
Again, being bad at their jobs. So Obi-Wan, there's a big fight between Obi-Wan and Jango in the rain, and he ends up following them to this planet, Geonosis. There's a cool asteroid scene fight, spaceship fight with giant sonic bombs are making cool go off. I remember thinking that was cool in the theater. They think Obi-Wan's dead, but he's just kind of hiding behind an asteroid. So Obi-Wan follows them down to the surface, where he sees an entire battle droid factory being run by Count Dooku. Were you guys tracking who Count Dooku was? Because I feel like they mentioned him in the crawl, and then you don't see him again or hear him again for like an hour and a half.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah, I didn't know.
Right.
No.
I remember being confused about that when I first saw it as well.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, Dracula. Wait, never mind.
Yeah, Saruman. Oh wait, no,
Oh.
never mind. So this whole time we're cutting back and forth to Anakin and Padme, who are hiding out on. Which, if Padme's going into hiding, seems like you wouldn't take her to her home planet. Seems like that would be the first place anybody would look for.
No one's using their freaking brain for this.
Nobody.
I mean, we've long ago established that Anakin does not use his brain.
Yeah,
it is impossible.
Yeah. So we kind of talked about
trying to establish control too, and like in those moments where she's like, "No, I'm in charge and I want to do this." It's like I felt like okay, they are very similar. Like I was like kind of wondering through the whole movie, and then I'm like, okay, this is
there's that one.
Between the two of them.
There's that one scene where she like really like puts him in his place, and he's like, "I'm the head of security," and she's like, "I am the senator.
You're not even
a
Jedi yet."
Exactly. Yeah, she like really like undercut them.
He was
real
not
big
a fan
time.
of that.
Yeah, yeah. And we already talked about their like flirting and falling in love stuff. But one thing that is new information in this movie is that for a Jedi, attachment is forbidden. Padme asks Anakin, what's it like to not be allowed to fall in love or not be allowed to whatever? And Anakin says, we're allowed to love, we just can't be attached to anything, which is something new for new piece of lore in the Jedi, information for the Jedi. So they know that if they do fall in love, it's going to be a problem because Anakin's not technically allowed to be dating anybody. And Anakin suggests they could keep it a secret. Padme doesn't really want to live like that. Any other thoughts on their relationship, their falling in love, or the no attachment kind of thing? No?
I feel like it makes sense that Jedis aren't supposed to be attached to anyone.
It's of the mind.
Yeah, like you can't control your mind as well. More you are attached to something, and he has an issue with that. So,
and look what he does.
He's like, let's just get married.
Yeah. Just keep it secret.
I have
the answer.
Yeah.
The obvious answer.
Yeah. It's funny in that scene where like he's like, we should just keep it a secret, and she's like, no, we can't do that. I've seen people point this out online, but it's very true watching this. Like I mentioned all the outfits that Padme is wearing. She's wearing the absolute sexiest thing in the galaxy when she's saying, no, we can't be together. It's like a leather, like dominatrixy looking thing. Like she's got like a headband and like a scarf and like long gloves. I'm like, she looks hot as hell. Like what the hell?
He's ready to risk it all.
Yeah. She came into this room knowing that they can't be together, and yet this is what she chose to wear.
You know what? This is a good idea.
Yeah, this is an outfit.
Yeah, I gotta question some of her decision-making skills in this whole thing.
They're the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're very similar. I agree. Also, the no attachment thing, kind of, it does track when you think about like the decision that Luke makes in Empire Strikes Back to go and rescue Han and Leia. He's that Force vision. He's like, no, I have to go. And Yoda and Obi-Wan are like, no, you should stay and, finish your training. But he goes because he has an attachment to his friends. He has a connection to his friends.
Right.
But
and same with Anakin going to his mom. Like,
right. Yeah. But it's also like
problematic.
But Luke
I also
didn't
wouldn't
kill an
argue
entire
like
species.
That's true. Luke doesn't massacre a ton of a whole race.
Children and animals.
But yeah, so Anakin, we're there, I guess. Anakin has a dream about his mother being in danger. Padme convinces him to go to Tatooine to investigate. They go to find our old blue flying buddy Watto, who's looking pretty down, looking a little worse for wear, old Watto, except he's got a fun little hat this time. Bought himself a little hat. Good for you, Watto.
An undersized bowler. Enjoy.
Yep. So Watto tells him that he sold Anakin's mother, Shmi Skywalker, to a guy named Krieg Lars, who freed her and married her. So Anakin and Padme go to the Lars homestead, which is the location that we first see in Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. This is where Luke grows up, as we know. And he meets C-3PO, the droid that he built, who is working there. I guess he's not gold yet. What's that?
Still no skin.
No, he's got skin. It's just gray and dirty, and it's not gold and shiny.
Not shiny and gold.
Yeah. He meets his stepbrother, Owen, and his girlfriend, Beru. This is Luke's Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru that we met in episode 4. And he meets Krieg Lars. Krieg tells Anakin his mother was taken by Tusken Raiders, sand people, and has been gone for a month. They tried to rescue her. The Tuskens were too strong. Anakin's like, hold my beer. I'm going after her. And he does. And he finds his mom moments before she dies. And for this being a quote unquote movie for kids, this scene I think is pretty intense and somewhat disturbing. She's like tied up to like some kind of like board or like an axe, or she's like restrained. She clearly has been beaten and like abused in different ways, possibly. Like it's really intense. She's scratched up, she's cut up. It's pretty dark. He finds her and she's very excited to see him, and she ends up dying in his arms. What did we think about this tragic scene between Anakin and his mom?
It was sad, and it was one of those moments where I'm like, all right, villain story.
Yeah, this is going to change him.
Yeah.
Amber, you said that in our Phantom Menace episode. You said that you thought, because I asked about the scene where he says goodbye to his mom. Do you think we'll ever see his mom again? And you said, I think something happened to his mom to put him on the path. And you were right. Nailed it. So Anakin kind of flies into a blind rage and slaughters all the Tusken Raiders in the camp. Yoda, again, feels that this is happening, tells Mace Windu about it, and they do nothing about it.
They didn't feel a clone army being built, but that's okay.
No. Yeah, exactly. They're happy to use the clone army once it becomes convenient for them, though. And we talked about this. Anakin confesses to Padme that he killed all of the Tusken Raiders, all the Sand People, not just the men. The women and the children, slaughtered them all. But and Padme wants to comfort Anakin and is not at all nervous about his actions whatsoever. Interesting. So then we get somewhere along the line, we get another scene with Chancellor Palpatine being concerned about the growing separatist movement. And someone in that scene suggests that if the Chancellor was given temporary special powers, he could authorize the creation of a clone army without having Senate approval. The guy I mentioned earlier, Senator Bail Organa of Alderaan, is in the room, and he objects to that idea. Palpatine says, like, oh, but what senator would be brave enough to put forth such an idea? And Jar Jar overhears this, takes it upon himself, believing that he is acting heroically and doing what Padme would do, suggests that they grant the Chancellor extreme powers, and they do. And so,
also a bad choice of putting a creature like that in the position they put.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm feeling like he's not our guy. I don't think he's on our side.
Jar Jar?
No, Palpatine. I don't know.
What makes you think that? What makes you think that?
He said like something like when they granted him the power, he was like, oh, well, of course only keep the power for as long as I need it, or whatever it was for. And I'm like,
right.
Bad feeling about him from
ever. Like,
yeah. Like, bad feeling about him from the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, something about him, I'm like,
something's gonna go awry there.
He's someone else that is very different in this movie immediately than he was in Phantom Menace. In Phantom Menace, he's like smiling and kind of like, oh, yes.
Padme, no bad vibes in that movie.
Following you.
Yeah.
And this one, he's like, he's never smiling. He's always down and,
I don't know.
Yeah. Interesting. So Obi-Wan gets captured on Geonosis, but before he does, he sends a message to Anakin and the Jedi Council telling that he's found Count Dooku on Geonosis. While being held prisoner, Count Dooku straight up tells Obi-Wan that the Galactic Senate is already being controlled by a Dark Lord of the Sith, and that Obi-Wan should join him so they can destroy the Sith together, which is a weird thing for him to say when we learn at the end of the movie that Count Dooku is working with Darth Sidious, who we can assume is this Lord of the Sith that they're talking about. We also learn, I guess it's mentioned earlier in the movie, but this is when we learn in this conversation that Count Dooku used to be a Jedi. Not only was a Jedi, but was Qui-Gon Jinn's master. So Obi-Wan's master, Qui-Gon from Phantom Menace, was the Padawan apprentice underneath Count Dooku. Interesting lineage. And then Yoda says at the end that Yoda was Count Dooku's master. So from Yoda to Count Dooku to Qui-Gon to Obi-Wan to Anakin. Interesting line. Yeah.
Or from Qui-Gon to Obi-Wan to Luke.
That's right.
To Yoda.
Stop.
To Luke.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool line. The Jedi. Okay. So then the Jedi they decide to like do something finally and go help Obi-Wan.
They decided to get off their asses for once and actually go, help the galaxy
About
like
time.
they're supposed to.
Yeah, about time. Exactly. Anakin and Padme also do this. This is the scene where you said earlier, Steve, how she's like, well, I'm going, and if you need to protect me, you're coming. Right. They bring C-3PO with them for some reason. There's no real reason why they would bring 3PO with them other than Anakin being like, I built that dude. He's mine. I'm taking him.
Yeah.
So I guess that must have been what happened.
They brought him for comic relief.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, our guy.
So there's this insane scene where Anakin, Padme, and 3PO all somehow fall into the droid factory, and it becomes like a video game for like a few minutes of an action scene where they're like trying to avoid, they're on a conveyor belt, they're trying to avoid molten lead being poured on them or whatever. And this is where we learn that R2 has rocket boosters, apparently, coming out of nowhere. And also there's a kind of a wacky slapstick comedy routine where 3PO loses his head and his head gets put on the body of a battle droid and the battle droid's head gets put on 3PO. Some people hate this. Some people love it. Where'd you guys fall on the wackadoo head swapping 3PO comedy routine?
I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I used to hate it. Now I think it's fine.
It's very 3PO, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think some of the dialogue for him is a little like on the nose. Like R2's dragging his head to the body, and he's like, "Oh, I'm quite beside myself." Like things like that are like, "Oh my god, okay." Little eye rolly, but
Him though, I feel like that's always been his like.
I know, I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a thing I used to hate. Now I don't hate it anymore. Much like this movie in general.
Mm-hmm.
It was no more strange than Jar Jar kicking guns that happened to magically shoot all the battle droids last movie. Yeah. So
getting a battle droid stuck on his foot and somehow accidentally using it for success. So R2, of course, R2 saves the day, shuts down the battle droid factory. But they are captured by the bug people of Geonosis, and they are made to fight in a gladiator ring. Obi-Wan's already there. He's already been captured. They're tied to these giant, poles somewhat. And then there's like this, they have to fight these giant monsters, and eventually the Jedi show up and help them out. What do you guys think of this scene? I think Padme's really great in this scene, how she immediately like frees herself and climbs to the top of the
I knew she was up to something. I was like, is she getting like a pin out of her hair? What is she doing? Like as they were like walking, she's got this. Yeah, I knew she'd be the one to help.
Yeah.
It was I liked it though. It's a good scene.
She very conveniently gets just her midriff ripped off of her outfit by that tiger-like beast that's like, oh, I'm not going to kill you. I'm just going to, rip this like sexy part of your clothing off. Very convenient. Doing Lord's work. Yeah. Thank you, tiger alien monster. We're all appreciative. Mace Windu shows up like a badass and ignites a purple lightsaber. Whoa! Were you excited to see a purple lightsaber, or did you not notice? It was a big deal for us when it happened.
I don't know that I noticed.
I didn't even notice.
That's great.
Amazing. You can't imagine.
Watch these things more. We got to get more into it.
You can't imagine the hype that was surrounding the fact that someone had a purple lightsaber. It was just like unthinkable. Lightsabers are green, blue, and red. That's it. If you're good, you got green or blue. If you're bad, you got red. That's it. What are you talking about?
And if you're Sam Jackson, you can say, mine's purple. Shut up.
The story that I've heard there is that Samuel L. Jackson agreed to do the movie or agreed to play the role if he could have a purple lightsaber so that he could pick himself out in battle scenes. He'd be able to stick out and be like noticeable.
That's amazing.
That's so funny.
Yeah. So throwing his weight around a little bit there.
I love that.
Yeah, so there's this like big battle. It looks like our heroes are going to get killed, and then, or the Jedi are there, but Jango Fett's getting his head cut off, and we see Boba mournfully pick up the helmet. I'm not sure why the head doesn't fall out of the helmet. That's what I think every time I see that scene.
Yep.
Every time I see it, I was like, the head should fall out of this helmet, the way he's holding it. But sad for Boba Fett. Looks like they're all going to die, and then at the last second, Yoda shows up with the clone army there to save our heroes. And it's a little strange. No one knew that this clone army was being ordered. Who paid for it? What? That's got to cost like $1 trillion to create an entire race of people. Like what? Crazy. So, but at the end of the day, they're just like, oh, sure, clone army. We happen to need an army, I guess.
Might as well.
Nothing
bad could
devious
happen,
there.
Possibly.
Yeah. What could go wrong? There just happens to be an army. Yeah, it's a weird story. I don't think you're confused. I think it's you're questioning it. I think you're right to question it.
Yeah, you have an appropriate level of questioning this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we get more?
Yes. I'll say yes.
Okay.
I'll say yes and no. I don't know.
I feel like that could be like a really cool storyline, but
I mean, there is a whole
what could be
7-series TV show called The Clone Wars.
How they came to be and like what happens after with them and like I don't know. Like I just
a movie is coming out.
Not with clones though. Not clone based.
Oh.
It should.
That sucks.
All right. Yeah.
I was ready for that. I was like, there's a movie I get to see about this.
Oh, were you thinking of
Mandalorian
Boba Fett because the Mandalorian has the same armor? Oh yeah. Not Mandalorians are their own thing. Not all Mandalorians are clones. Boba Fett is a clone. And he ends up wearing
technically
not all of them
Boba
are
Fett
clones.
isn't a Mandalorian.
It's true. Yeah, no, Mandalore is like a planet of people. We know this because of a cartoon show. But Mandalore is a planet of people that have different religions, and some of those religions like worship armor and weaponry as part of their religion, and so they wear the helmets and they carry weapons. That's a very brief explanation.
Show and movie isn't going to be about the clones?
No, it's not about clones. It's about a Mandalorian.
That is crazy. I'm so disappointed.
Well, if you like animated shows, and you want to know more, about clones, there's plenty available to you. Some of it's
go down that rabbit hole.
Some of it's incredible. Well, hey, if we want to keep doing this podcast, maybe we'll all watch them together.
Perfect.
Okay, so were the clones? Was the clone army made like they were? It was made to be used in a bad way. Like
I think. Yeah.
I mean,
right?
I don't.
They don't really say that. They don't come out and say that.
It's implied because the Jedis didn't know about it. So if it were good, people wouldn't be hiding it.
This is what I'm saying. Like, we could be a whole thing. Like, I need to know more. I need to know more backstory and.
Me too. We need the whole thing.
It seems nefarious that an army just happens to show up while the Republic is about to vote on whether or not to create an army. And normally when it really doesn't make any sense because like normally if someone's making an army, they're like, hey, who wants to join our army? Regular citizens, and you take volunteers, and they just created a race of clones to do it.
Right.
Yes,
you said
they didn't even. They like who did? Somebody else did. Like what's going on here? What's going on?
And you said making an army. You normally don't make an army. They literally
were
just
you don't create one out of thin air.
An army. It's fine.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. It's ominous.
Yeah, it's definitely like nefarious. And I think you're supposed to.
You could say it was Sidious.
Feel that. Sidious. Is it Sidious?
Or Insidious, I guess.
Insidious.
Yeah, I think you're feeling the correct way about it.
Okay.
I think.
Seems to be.
I don't know. Our prequel wrap up episode's gonna be great.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. I'm like, I'm ready. There's gonna be things we learn.
Well, yeah, and also, I mean, Steve and I. It's tough for this is tough for Steve and I to talk about because, like Steve said, there's 7 seasons of an animated show that the timeline takes place between Attack of the Clones and the next one, Revenge of the Sith, that didn't come out until after Revenge of the Sith. But so we know a lot more context around clones and the Clone War and Anakin, all this kind of stuff. Like, we know, and it's hard to forget that and just watch this movie sometimes, because when this movie came out, we were left with questions like, well, what about this? And how did this happen? And what did this? And, that series kind of like answers some of those questions, but like taking the movie on its own, not answering those questions is frustrating, I think.
Right. And I've noticed both you and I have taken a lot more time this episode in particular to be like, can we say that? Can we say
that? I know. Yeah, it's hard. I mean, I don't think we're trying not to spoil movies. Like, I don't really care about spoiling stuff from like the Clone Wars necessarily. Who knows if we're ever going to watch 7 cartoon, but I don't know. Anyway, sorry.
I did wear my little Clone Helmets shirt today.
There you go.
Oh my gosh, cool. I didn't notice that's what it was.
It's all sorts of different.
Steve's big on those
Clone Trooper helmets.
So Yoda shows up with the clone army. At one point, we see Count Dooku getting ready to escape, and he's talking to one of the bug aliens. And it's revealed that the bug aliens have designed and possibly begun construction on the Death Star. Did you guys catch that? There was like he's holding a little hologram, says if they find out what we're planning to build, we're going to be in trouble. So
yeah,
the Death Star
was the Death Star. Wasn't 100% sure.
Yep.
Yes. So Dooku escapes with the Death Star designs and ends up giving them to Darth Sidious at the end of the movie.
Son of a bitch.
Obi-Wan and what's that?
Said son of a bitch.
I know, getting away with it. Obi-Wan and Anakin follow him in a lightsaber battle, which I think is pretty good lightsaber fight. It's a little underrated. Dooku's too powerful. Obi-Wan gets injured. Anakin gets his arm chopped off. Whoa! Dooku cuts his arm off.
Recurring theme for this family.
Recurring theme. A lot of dismembering in Star Wars.
Appendages are overrated for Star Wars.
So they're lying there on the floor before our little green buddy Yoda walks in. And shockingly, to me at the time when I saw it, whips out a lightsaber and starts fucking him up.
Going full ham on them.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you think of Yoda and his lightsaber battle against Count Dooku?
It was good to see him in that Jedi role because
in his heyday.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. He's always like hobbling around with a cane, but if he taps into the Force, apparently a bunch of cool backflips and shit.
Yeah.
Very cool.
That was kind of cute at the same time. It was badass and cute.
Yeah.
His lightsaber is so much smaller.
Yes. Yeah, he's got a tiny one. Yeah. Yeah, it's great. But he has to stop because Count Dooku starts like knocking a pillar over. He's about to crush Obi-Wan and Anakin, so Yoda's got to stop and save them. Dooku escapes to Coruscant, where he gets in-person meeting with Darth Sidious. So Darth Sidious is on Coruscant, revealing that they are working together. And then there's a scene where Obi-Wan and Mace Windu were talking to Yoda. One of them refers to what they did on Geonosis as a victory. Victory only begun this Clone War has. And then the final scene of the movie is back on Naboo. I think this is a great way to end the movie. No dialogue, just beautiful John Williams music and a great practical setting, not in front of a green screen. We see Anakin and Padme get married in secret with 3PO and R2-D2 as witnesses. That is the end of Attack of the Clones. What did you guys think of that they got married at the end?
Of course they did. Those little
course they did.
rebels. They can't help themselves but to break the rules.
Yeah.
Of course.
I mean, I feel like the whole ending was like a little more ominous than any of the others we've seen. Like, it was like, okay, like shit's about to get started, and then
Yep.
Right.
I don't know if the wedding was supposed to make us feel better, but it made it worse for me. So
Same.
just overall bad vibes at the end, but that makes
Wow. Okay.
the next
I'm
one
very excited for
more
the next
interesting
one
to me. Yeah,
mean,
like
we are-
because I want to know.
Yeah,
We are going into a movie called Revenge of the Sith. So
Yes.
sounds
it's probably not going to be a happy-go-lucky one.
Yeah.
sounds bad.
And it's like, I just feel like the villain story is gonna come out. Like, I can just feel it. Like, I'm like, shit goes down, and I just want to know what it is, you know?
Yeah.
Well, before we get into that too much, I guess, is there anything else that you guys had in your Attack of the Clones characters or plot points or anything like that? I don't want to skip anything if you guys wanted to mention stuff. Alex checking her notes. No.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Just
all
my
right.
massive confusion on
Yeah.
a main storyline, but we're good now. I think I get it.
Hey, don't worry. You don't have to wait 3 years to get any kind of follow-up movie or answers.
I've got two experts right here at my disposal to help me with it. So
That's right.
great.
That's right. Do you have any predictions for episode 3, Revenge of the Sith? Or anything that you
Well,
want to see?
The war is only beginning.
Mhm.
So
I'm
says
worried
Mary.
that something is gonna happen to Anakin's secret love, and that's gonna
Nice.
play a role in something, because it's like he already lost his mom. So I'm like trying to think of what could be worse than that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know what could be worse than that? An NSYNC cameo in this movie.
Guys, no.
Steve, I forgot about that. I
was waiting
the
for a
members
good
of
spot
NSYNC are
to bring that up, and I was like, I gotta, before we end this, make sure this gets out there.
great call. They are NSYNC is in this movie. NSYNC play
What?
Jedi.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the Battle of Geonosis in the arena.
In the big lightsaber battle in the arena. They're in there somewhere. I don't think I've ever seen them, but they like.
No, Timberlake and Bass are not in the scene. The other 3 are.
Weird.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
What?
What are they doing in there?
I think they just wanted to be in
huge
it.
Star Wars fans, I guess. And
They were also.
this is
mainly popular at the
2001
time.
that it's filmed. Like, they were at the peak of their peak.
Wow.
So,
And, yeah.
but Justin Timberlake and Lance Bass are not in there.
No.
Why
the
not?
two most.
I
Were they
do not
cut
know.
or they just weren't? Okay. And I love that. I love that they resisted the temptation to be like, now we're going to pause the movie to give NSYNC a cameo.
Right.
Can you imagine if they had done that? How dated that would be by now? Like, that'd be so bad.
Well, it'd
if
be
they
I
had
would
done
be
that.
like,
Game
what
of
is
Thrones.
actually happening? Like,
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
be like freaking out.
Totally
Yeah.
take you out of it.
I
Yeah,
thought
Game
that
of
you were
Thrones had
saying
that
they
Ed
were going to
Sheeran
have a cameo in the next movie.
Oh, no.
So I was
Oh,
like,
no.
what? Oh my gosh.
No,
that's
no.
crazy.
No.
This is still
Backstreet Boys
crazy,
are in episode
but
3, not NSYNC, of course.
So they're in the
Okay.
final fighting, like Coliseum scene?
Yeah, they're somewhere in the big battle with all the Jedi are running at the bugs and stuff and the
Okay.
clone troopers.
I'm
And
gonna go
they're
back.
like,
I know, me too.
Yeah.
I've never tried to find it, but I've never noticed them. But I've never really tried.
That's
I think
so
I always
funny.
remember that well
I'm
after
going
the
back
fact
in.
of watching it.
Yeah, I never
I
think
would
about
use
it at the
my
time.
fame in that way, honestly, too. So I respect NSYNC for that. I'd be like, oh, I'm a big fan. Put me in this crazy war scene. Like,
Mhm.
please, I'm
Yeah.
begging.
Totally. Cool. Yeah, that's Attack of the Clones. It was received pretty mixed reviews when it came out, similar to Phantom Menace. But despite that, it made just under $650 million. Got an Oscar nomination for Best Visual Effects, but lost to Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. But like Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones has been reclaimed by fans that saw it when they were younger and didn't see it as a bad movie. And I'm out of my mind excited that you guys loved it. Hayden Christensen, which, as we mentioned about Ahmed Best, who played Jar Jar, and Jake Lloyd, who played Anakin in Phantom Menace, Hayden Christensen was kind of like ridiculed and made fun of for his performance in this movie as well, and was kind of like removed from the fandom for time. I mean, he's in the next one too, but like, only recently, every 2 years there's a celebration?
Yeah.
Every 2 years there's a big convention called Star Wars Celebration, and it's in Los Angeles next year. And they use this convention to like announce movies or like bring out actors and have them like talk to the fans and stuff. And it was a big deal a couple years ago. Hayden Christensen was making his first appearance at a Star Wars Celebration, the first one that I knew of anyway. And when he came out, the fans erupted for him in such a way that I don't think he was expecting, and he was visibly emotional, got emotional, crying.
Why are people so mean, by the way?
I don't know. I don't know.
He's just out here like having a way cooler job than any of us.
Honestly.
So it's like, what are you doing? But I'm so happy that he got that. Ew, I don't like that people are mean about that. If anyone is mean, they can just, no. I don't like that. I love that he
unfortunately
was accepted.
It's not the last time that we're going to tell you a story like that, unfortunately.
No, that's messed up. And everyone should be ashamed of themselves
in general, people suck.
In general, people suck.
I don't like that at all.
Especially when some of the modern movies have more women in lead roles. Guess who was unhappy about that? A lot of misogynist Star Wars fans out there.
I don't like that.
Oh man.
No, neither do I. Nope. Not cool. Not cool.
Out there.
No.
It really is. It really is.
I dare them to do something as good. I dare them. And send it to me personally. So I can see it and judge.
Oh, awesome. Love it. Love it. All right. Attack of the Clones. I'm glad you guys loved it. I liked it more than I've ever liked it watching it this time. And I did not think that you were going to respond so positively. But that's my impression, right? That's my opinion based on my experience. And so I'm so glad that it wasn't a slog for you guys.
No, I don't think it was at all. I thought it was really entertaining. I feel like there was no like downtime in it. It was like very like
it moves. Yeah.
Action packed, but not in just a way that there was just like a bunch of racing scenes or like fighting scenes.
Right.
It was like the storyline was always moving along.
Yeah. So. And whereas Phantom Menace is very talky and can be boring at times and is a lot like Steve and I were talking last week, how like Phantom Menace, like you can't really dive into it too much unless you want to like explore Jedi lore and talk about midi-chlorians in your bloodstream is all this like, it's not like I think we touched on it, but it's not really character focused. It's more like lore focused. And there's not a ton of like character development. We actually get some arcs for characters, at least they're attempting to execute some stuff like that. So much better. And if we don't have anything else to say, we'll tune in next week for our episode on Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, rounding out the prequels. And I can't wait to talk about it, especially after your response to this. I can't wait to talk about Revenge of the Sith. Yeah. Awesome. Well, great. Thanks for watching and listening, and we'll see you next time in a galaxy far, far